I'm asking about the process. So you're telling me that head-to-head never really came up until they were ranked side by side? That seems to be different from the process of ordering and ranking the teams that you guys go through.
Miami was a loser of 2 of 3 when they entered the poll at 18, and they were in close proximity to Louisville at the time, who I believe was below them in 21st or 22nd spot. And we didn't use the head-to-head metric to compare Miami and Louisville. Louisville, a team who had beat Miami.
I still need a little further explanation on why this matters. Miami and Notre Dame have been in the same group for evaluation. Is that correct?
That is correct, Reese.
Why is it that they have to be ranked side by side with no one between them for the head-to-head to carry the day?
Thought Notre Dame was better than BYU and deserved to be ranked higher than BYU. We thought BYU deserved to be ranked higher than Miami.
What? What the hell did he just say? First off, credit to Reese Davis for pressing the NCAA for answers yesterday. The problem is, we didn't get a damn answer, and we didn't get an answer because I don't think the committee has an actual process. I don't think the committee has any idea how they're selecting teams for the playoffs. How can the FCS or Division II, whatever the hell they're calling it now, how can they get this right while the billion-dollar power conferences seemingly have no idea what the hell they're doing? Look, I don't have a problem with the 12 teams that were selected for the playoffs. Do I think Alabama should be in the playoffs? Absolutely not. But whatever. Alabama drives ratings. I understand why the networks would want major programs in the postseason. What I don't understand is how they got here. According to the rankings that were released an hour or so before they released the bracket for the playoffs, Notre Dame, BYU, Miami, they were ranked 10 through 12. With 12 teams selected for the playoffs, I would assume that these would be the final 3 teams selected, right? At minimum, I would assume one of these 3 teams were selected, but somehow they went 0 for 3. Speaking of Notre Dame, these 3 teams aren't the only nightmares before Christmas. With the expansion of the postseason to 12 teams, and I think they could be expanding to 16, maybe even 24 teams in the near future, the playoffs in college football, they have completely decimated one of the biggest traditions in America, bowl season. Now, me personally, I don't have a problem with it. These doofus bowl games were becoming increasingly irrelevant years before the NCAA decided to destroy them. But for a lot of people, especially people my age, millennials and older generations, for a lot of people, bowl season is important. For reasons I don't understand, there are a lot of people who look forward to seeing their team playing in the Tony the Tiger Bowl. This game between Duke and Arizona State will be great! There are dozens of people clamoring to see a 5-win Mississippi State team playing in the Mayonnaise Bowl. Uncle Casey, you're making this up. You gotta win at least 6 games to be bowl eligible. Yeah, winning 6 games was already a low standard. I guess college football wanted to emulate the NBA and become an equity league. Everyone makes the playoffs. Everyone gets the chance to ride on the golden cucumber trophy. Putting 6-win teams in bowl games was bad enough, but the reason a sub-500 team got invited to a prestigious bowl like the Mayonnaise Bowl, Notre Dame and a handful of other teams, they said, we're not interested. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's go and get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at White Crow Hops. When I was a beer drinker, I would enjoy a good IPA during happy hour. We have a local brewer here in the city where you can see the process of how the beer is being produced, how it's being made. You can also brew your own beer at home, and that's where White Crow Hops steps in. White Crow Hops provides the ingredients needed to brew your own IPA from the comfort of your own home. Their hops are farmed in New Mexico and watered naturally by the Rio Velocitos River. White Crow Hops grows authentic Cascade hops, perfect for home brewing, teas, or other custom recipes. White Crow hops are ideal for American Pale Ales, IPAs, American Porter, and Stouts. Historically, they've only been made available to local craft brewers, but White Crow hops are now available for home brewers. White Crow Hops is a veteran-owned business with free shipping available on all orders. So click the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL20. Receive 20% off your first purchase with White Crow Hops. Yesterday afternoon, Notre Dame announced the end of their season since they weren't invited to the playoffs, which is absolutely ridiculous when you think about it. This isn't a party. This isn't the exclusive Butt Bongo Festival. You shouldn't have to be invited by some doofus committee to compete for a championship. You either earn it during the regular season or you don't. Anyway, once Notre Dame realized they were eliminated from the playoffs, they decided to eliminate themselves from the hassle of a meaningless bowl game. For reasons I don't understand, a lot of people were pissed off with Notre Dame's decision. This is outrageous! Notre Dame is supposed to be the standard for college football. Don't they have pride? Don't they want to win? Why don't they want to compete in the prestigious Birmingham Bowl? That game's amazing! Notre Dame isn't the only team that's not interested in wasting their time traveling to Birmingham for a game that means absolutely nothing. As of the recording of this video, whatever tire shop in Birmingham is sponsoring the Birmingham Bowl this year, they're having one hell of a time finding an opponent for Georgia Southern. Every invitation they've sent out so far has been returned to sender. Iowa State, Kansas State. They decided not to participate in bowl games this year. As a result of their decision, the Big 12 fined each program $500,000. Organizers of these meaningless bowl games have gotten so desperate, they are reaching out to sub-500 teams. Please, please, come play in our empty stadium against an opponent that no one gives a shit about. There have been 7 teams with sub-500 records that have declined bowl invitations. Auburn, Florida State, UCF, Baylor, Kansas, Temple, Rutgers. Rutgers? Temple? Just think about that for a second. The bowl system has been so watered down, Temple and Rutgers aren't interested in playing. The question is why? And Uncle KC will give you the answer. The truth is, the bowl system in college football was ruined years before they implemented the current playoff system. Because the bowl system in college football, it was ruined by greed. When I was growing up, bowl games actually meant something, and the reason they meant something is because there weren't very many. It's simple economics. Every time the Federal Reserve prints more money, the dollar in your wallet, it becomes less valuable. In 1997, there were a total of 20 bowl games. You had the 4 major bowls and 16, secondary bowls. For the most part, the teams competing in bowl games were good teams. They were 7, 8, 9 win teams. By 2017, the number had increased to 41, which means 82 teams were qualifying for bowl games. In the short term, the networks and the conferences, they were making more money, significantly more money. But long term, The increase in bowl games watered it down. Basically, the vast majority of bowl games are meaningless. They're a complete waste of time. And if there's one thing Uncle KC cannot stand, it's wasted time. I was mad at myself earlier this morning because I had forgotten that we had to take my wife's new car to the body shop to get it fixed. We bought her a new car last month. 2 or 3 weeks later, some innocent old lady ran into the back of her. I woke up early this morning because I got a lot to do today. I needed to get started early, and as soon as I'm ready to get started, my wife reminds me that we have to take her car. An hour of my day vanished. An hour of my day was completely wasted. When you work for yourself, losing an hour is a big deal. I don't have anyone who can create content for me. There is no suitable substitute for Uncle KC. If I lose an hour, the hour's got to be made up somewhere. So I was increasingly aggravated with myself for forgetting. I was mad at myself for wasting my own time. And that's what these bowl games have become, a waste of time. But Casey, what about tradition? What about it? They ruined tradition years ago by adding so many games. They ruined tradition by allowing players to transfer without consequence. You see, one of the reasons these bowl games used to mean something, coaches used them as a way to prepare for the following season. Being invited to a bowl meant 2 or 3 more weeks of practice. Being invited to a bowl game meant you were given 4 additional quarters against a quality opponent. Young players got 4 quarters of reps. A first-year starting quarterback in his junior season, he got another game on the schedule to prepare for his senior season. Unfortunately, that's no longer the case. Players who are transferring, they have no incentive to play in these games. They're not going to be there next year. If you're expected to be drafted, if you're going to the NFL, there's damn sure no incentive for you to play. Matter of fact, you have nothing to gain and everything to lose. An injury in a meaningless bowl game could cost you millions of dollars. I look at these bowl games the same way I look at all-star games. For decades, all-star games were a big deal. Home Run Derby, All-Star Weekend in the NBA, Pro Bowl in Hawaii. These used to be major events, but over time, for whatever reason, they lost their value. Same thing with bowl games. The Citrus Bowl used to be a big deal. The Cotton Bowl, the Gator Bowl, the Aloha Bowl, which was played every year on Christmas Eve. It was a big deal to play on New Year's Day. Now, it's not. You're either in the playoffs or you're not. And the playoffs are the only games that matter. Whether it's the expansion of the playoff system or the expansion of the number of bowl games, whether it's allowing players to transfer, or maybe it's just a combination of all three. Whatever the reason, there's no denying the fact that bowl games have become meaningless. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.